In this video, I'll describe how to get to the famous Peterhof Palace from St. Petersburg, Russia, the magnificent Peterhof Palace and the grounds. What is it like to travel to Russia during sanctions? Travel tips on visiting Russia as a Western tourist, and surprising facts about Russia which our media doesn't tell us. So please stay tuned to my video. Please remember to post a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you can always get my latest travel videos. Welcome back to my channel. This morning in St. Petersburg, I'm going to try to venture out to the famous Palace Peterhof. But first, my hotel breakfast. Here's my hotel breakfast. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in St. Petersburg, Russia, and today I'm going to visit the famous Peterhof Palace in St. Petersburg. I'm going to show you how to get there. They have informational displays in English. You can choose Russian or English. There's also maps, and the maps are in Russian and English. So according to the tourist map I got from the hotel, it said there's supposed to be an express bus to Peterhof from here. I can't find one. Plan B. I'm back inside the subway station, going back a couple of stops to Baltiskaya train station. One thing you want to know is metros are very inexpensive here. So if you make a mistake like I have, it's not going to cost you much. A metro ride is hardly 60 cents US. I wanted to show you the new subway trains they have in St. Petersburg. I've always been taking the old ones, but they do have new ones. Well, I'm at Baltiskaya train station, and there is a train to Peterhof, but it leaves in 2.5 hours. So, okay, we got to plan C now. So I'm not having a lucky day. It's raining outside. So I'm glad I'm inside the subways in St. Petersburg. And just like in Moscow, the subways are extremely clean and very beautiful. And they're quite easy to navigate. And everything's in English, as I mentioned before, and Russian. I'm exiting the subway up to the rainy street above. Hopefully it's not raining when I get there. One more tip about the St. Petersburg subway. If you miss a train, the next one's coming in less than a minute. So don't panic. It's not like in the North American subways where you have to wait about 5 or 10 minutes for the next train. They arrive like 45 seconds to a minute later. It's pretty cool. So it's still raining a little bit, and I decided to take plan C. And that is to take a Yandex Taxi. And I'm in one now. According to Yandex, the ride should take about an hour, 12 minutes, and cost about 1,300 rubles, which is about $13 US. The Yandex Taxi app is excellent. It has the same features as Uber and has an excellent GPS, like Uber. However, because my Western credit card doesn't work in Russia, Yandex in Russia accepts cash.
You pay the driver at the end of the ride exactly what you owe, and the driver is happy. If you leave him extra money as a tip, you'll need to explain that it's a tip, and the driver will be delighted. A few things which were interesting to me on the drive. 1. There were no traffic jams along the way. 2. There were no lack of modern cars of major car brands. Obviously, our Western sanctions have not worked at all to prevent Russians from buying the cars they want. 3rd, I never saw a bad neighborhood on my drive. 4, the roads were all well maintained with no road closures or detours, like we normally see in North America. 5, there was a modern tram system running in parallel to the road, which explained why the road was not congested with traffic jams. 6, I saw many clusters of condo buildings which were all modern, much like you'd find in any major Western European city. However, the clusters of buildings were spread out in St. Petersburg, allowing plenty of green space. 7, just like in my prior trip to Moscow, which you can see from my videos, I was amazed and impressed at the lack of litter anywhere. The Peterhof Palace is located in a small town just outside of St. Petersburg, Russia, which is why it takes over 1 hour and 10 minutes to reach Peterhof. This is that small town.
Yay, I've arrived at Peterhof. It's not raining and I've arrived at Peterhof. The Yandex app was excellent. It was just like Uber, except you have to pay cash because, of course, your credit card doesn't work here. So I'm going to try to get inside Peterhof and show you around. There's the main gates, and I think that's the ticket booth. Welcome to Peterhof. The entrance to Peterhof only costs $15 US. To take a tour here with an American company costs thousands of dollars. I don't know if they still operate those tours during sanctions, but I remember before sanctions, there were thousands of dollars. $15, that's all it cost me. And as I said, $12.80 US for the taxi ride here.
Peterhof Palace was first commissioned in 1709 by Peter the Great. Originally, it was the summer residence. The plans were enhanced after Peter's visit to Versailles. The fountains at Peterhof contain no pumps. The water is fed by natural springs. The difference in elevation creates the water pressure.
Here's my selfie to show that I was here, and you were too. There in the distance is Peterhof, and when you walk your way all the way down this lovely canal, you get to the Baltic Sea. That's the Baltic Sea, and that's the entrance from the ships that come in, tour boats from St. Petersburg that I showed you in my prior video. They do come here, and they dock there, and then you can just get a ticket. Way there in the distance, if you can see it, is the Latka Tower. I'll be taking you there on this trip, so stay tuned. The Imperial Yachts Museum. Right above it are these flags. I wonder if they're the flags of the Russian Empire, the former Russian Empire. Please leave a comment and let me know if I'm right. So that's the museum. Looks fairly small, but does cost a special ticket to go inside there, on top of the grounds ticket that I have. As I walk the grounds of Peterhof, it's a good time for me to advise you about the situation in Russia. Russia has a special military operation. That means they have not declared war on anyone. So they haven't declared war on Ukraine. And in fact, if you talk to most of the people here, they feel very, very sympathetic for both the Russian soldiers that are dying and also the Ukrainians that are dying. They have not declared war against Ukraine, or nor Ukrainians. Ukraine, on the other hand, has declared war on Russia. Now, it's probably difficult for us to understand this in the West as to what the difference is. But as a traveler, you can come to Russia, and you're protected by laws, and the laws are predictable, and you can be a tourist here. However, in Ukraine, if you travel to Ukraine, you don't need a visa to go to Ukraine as a Westerner. Your credit card will work in Ukraine if you go there. However, it's virtually impossible to get there. And you'll find that out if you try to book a flight, as I have. You cannot get there, and train tickets through Poland are really, really difficult to get, and they're very unpredictable. So, also, Ukraine is under martial law. Russia is not. Russia is under democratic law. So that's a traveler's tip for you about this situation. As far as the Russians are concerned, it's a special military operation. You need to read up on this before you come here, so you're aware of the difference. And Russians have only sympathy and empathy for the soldiers and people that are dying. They hold no ill regard for anyone, including Americans. And that is interesting. As I've traveled here twice, they know very well that our government is causing deaths of Russian soldiers. That is the Western government. But they don't hold any animosity towards us individually. There's a beach on the Baltic Sea. I think someone got married. Beautiful gardens all around. Place is massive. Another selfie. Glad you were here too. As I wander around the Peterhof gardens, I thought I would talk about freedom of press. Something that's going to surprise you if you come to Russia. Russia gets CNN, Fox News, NBC, BBC. They get all the channels. We don't get any Russian mainstream media in the West. So Russians are extremely well aware of what we say about them. They keep a tight lip about it. They don't get angry, but they know that we don't know their point of view. Their mainstream media is banned in our country. So, interesting thing about who's got free press and who's got freedom of information. When you come here from the West, you get a little surprised by that. Who's living in a free country? You scratch your head. check out my channel. You can see me standing in front of fountains doing selfies. Is it a good time to come to Russia for a Westerner? And that's a great question. Virtually all of my family, friends, neighbors are all terrified to come to Russia. They have misconceptions and preconceptions as to what it must be like here. Many people imagine that it's the former Soviet Union, and that's because our media influences us to tell us that. It's not. It's nothing like the former Soviet Union. Russia has progressed tremendously since the Soviet Union days, as have also other satellite countries have advanced since the former Soviet Union days, including countries like Poland. Is that Russia is the Soviet Union, and it's not. So is it a good time to come here? Well, the political situation is terrible. However, Russia welcomes tourists. Done a very good job of fostering tourism, especially from Westerners. The other thing you're going to find, and this is my second trip to Russia, I've been to Moscow, as you know from my videos, is that Western Europe is packed and overcrowded with tourists, as you've seen from some of my videos, because I've visited Western Europe and I've shown them to you on my videos. Russia is not overcrowded with tourists, so this place is packed with tourists, Peterhof, but and it's, in my opinion, it's no less than Versailles. You've seen it for yourself, and as to how beautiful this place is. However, it's not packed with tourists. And there's not hordes of crowds. So keep that in mind if you're thinking of coming to Russia, and hope my tips help you. Yes, another selfie. What a surprise. Tips on tourism to Russia. Russia offers a 30-day visa. That means you can enter on day 1 and leave on day 30. And they offer that as a standard feature for Westerners. So if you come here, remember, you have to operate with cash. You're not really allowed to bring more than 10,000 US dollars in cash. When you come here, you have to declare it if you do arrive with more than 10,000. However, if you arrive with a couple of $1,000s, you can easily tour Russia for those 30 days. It's not a problem. And what I would recommend you do is get that debit card that I mentioned from the bank, Sberbank, and I'll take a picture of Sberbank branch so you know what it looks like. All you got to do is just get the debit card. That'll give you the 16-digit code that will work on Russian websites, and you can travel within Russia. You can book a plane ticket, a train ticket between St. Petersburg and Moscow, fly to Kazan, fly to Vladivostok if you want. That's, I think, 7 hours. But you can do all that for up to 30 days. So that's an easier way to make the most of it and the best value for your dollar. Russia is far less expensive than Western Europe, far less expensive. It's also far less expensive than North America. And main reason for that is the cost of food and the cost of energy are very low here. As you know from my Moscow video, the price of gas here is very inexpensive. It's hardly $2.20 US per US gallon, something around 70 cents Canadian per liter. So energy costs are low, food costs therefore are quite low. So if you are like me and you're staying in a suite hotel, which you can prepare your own meals, it's going to be really inexpensive for you. And the restaurant food is very inexpensive compared to Western Europe, and it's not crowded. Also, the quality of the food is excellent here in Russia. I mentioned that before. Even if you go to fast food American restaurants, like Carl's Jr. is available here, KFC is available here, Burger King is available, and a knockoff of McDonald's, because McDonald's pulled out because of sanctions. There's a knockoff of Starbucks here, and Stars Coffee, they call it. So you can get pretty much all the American fast foods you're used to here if you want. And they have burgers and steaks and food like that, which are not common in especially Southern Europe, but they're totally common in Russia, which is going to be very surprising to you if you come here. So as an American, you're not going to miss food. My breakfast this morning was delicious. You saw that in my video earlier. So all the food I've had in all the restaurants here are absolutely delicious. Really good quality. Now, just in case you're wondering, how does Peterhof compare to Versailles? I'm sure we all wonder that. I've been to Versailles, and I've now been to Peterhof. And I think if you've been to Versailles, you will not be underimpressed by visiting Peterhof. In my humble opinion, this palace is definitely as spectacular, if not more, than Versailles. I would say probably more spectacular than Versailles. And also, the other advantage, as I mentioned before, it's less crowded and it's far less expensive to visit. I hope you enjoyed my video from Peterhof in St. Petersburg, Russia today. Please stay tuned for more of my travel videos, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, post a like, and hit the notification bell for future videos.